February is next month at our Retrobattlestations. And so I thought I'd do a quick and dirty little video about a certain NeXT system that I have here. It's actually not this one though. This is my Turbo Color slab that I got back in about 2000 from a refurb shop not far from here in Northern Virginia. The system I'm going to talk about is a little more interesting, and that is just a few machines down the desk. So the one I'm talking about would be this HP 9000 712-100. The label says 71260. I've actually switched the motherboard to a 712-100 that I found on eBay. What it is an HP PA-RISC CPU running at originally 60, now 100 megahertz. This was one of the 4 platforms that could run the NeXTSTEP operating system. There was the Motorola original, Spark, the Sun, the PA-RISC machines here, which were called Gecko, was the parlance as far as the fat binaries that NeXT used. These were called the Gecko ports, or green ports, and it runs the OS. It's probably the most unique in that I believe it dropped, support was dropped for it before even Spark, when things started to pare down. And so while it's very high performance, it probably has not the most coverage as far as apps that have been compiled all the way across for all the platforms. But it's definitely a fun machine. Here I've got it hooked up to my SGIO2's granite style keyboard and trackball. Anyway, I thought I would fire up NeXTSTEP on this unit, and we could take a look at how NeXTSTEP runs on this rather obscure system. And by the way, I got this unit, the original, before I upgraded it, off of a truck in a parking lot garage sale, flea market type thing, for $25. So it was quite a find. In a stack of machines, I noticed the shape and recalled from Next World magazines that this was one of the machines that could run NeXTSTEP. So I was glad to find it, and it's been a lot of fun. Alright, so let's turn it on. There you can see the HP boot up screen, which lets you can select multiple OSs. If you've got that installed, I have an external SCSI drive that I recently put HP UX back on and was playing around with that. Right now we just have the internal drive. The drive makes an amusing sound. Just the internal drive with NeXTSTEP on it, version 3.3. And there we go. So I thought I would just log in and just run through a few different programs on this fairly unique platform. Let's see. This is a really nice keyboard, by the way. It's a dome keyboard, rubber dome, but it is the best feeling rubber dome I've ever used. Really like the keyboard. So now let's run through a few apps. Let's try Fractal View, and this is a very high performance system for its day, and it's dramatically faster than any of the black hardware actual NeXT machines. I can render this 1024 by 768 Mandelbrot pretty quickly, do some zooms. Rather higher performance than the Motorola we can actually do a few runs through this app over on the slab a little later in the video. Now this display has a very nice color display. It's quote-unquote true color, while the NeXT hardware is actually 12-bit color. It's a 16-bit frame buffer, 4 bits are transparency alpha, and 12 bits are the color palette. It's 4096 colors, all of which can be displayed on the screen, but you get dithering. It's very, very high quality graphics with that system, but this is actually using 8-bit graphics, but it is providing a lossy true color system. It's called HP's color recovery technology, and I have a blog post that goes into great detail on how that works, and I will post that or link it to the video. But effectively, all of these colors, the system is rendering this with something that would probably look pretty garbled and non-meaningfully dithered, and on the way out of the system, after it leaves the frame buffer, it gets translated into true color, so to speak, millions of colors, but with some artifacts, and we'll see some of that in some of the other things that I run. So let's see, we'll quit that. What else do we have? It's the cycles of the moon. Let's try. And here are some 3D apps. I'm just going to kind of run through this quickly. Calendar. Scientific calculator. Some more fractals. Let's see. Got a web browser, OmniWeb, good old OmniWeb. Yay. Let's give Doom 2 a try. There you can see the demo running. It has audio, but the internal speaker at max volume in NeXTSTEP on the HP 712 here is very low. External speakers help that out. But pretty fast performance for Doom 2. And we can make the video official. Boing. Hey, my email from Steve Jobs. In a moment, I'll show the version of this running on the NeXT hardware to my left. This, you'll see, is much, much faster. This is, the palette is obviously off, and that's a known problem, but it's interesting to see how fast it runs on this hardware. And here you can see the speed of Quake running on a 33 megahertz 68040. On the next slab, it's obviously quite a bit slower than on the PA-RISC. Gives kind of a feel of the difference in power there. Okay, so I will run fractal view on the next machine here, and we can take a look at the difference close up in the graphics, the color rendering. Let's go ahead and do a render. You can see it also calculates the Mandelbrot dramatically slower than the HP does. Okay, this is rendering. While it's doing its thing, I think we can zoom in and take a look. And there you go. You can see the some of the dither patterns there. They're more sort of visible. You're dealing with a 12-bit display, 4096 colors, and so you definitely need dithering to get these gradients rendered. Obviously, it's a little hard to see quite clearly on the LCD and with a phone vibrating in my hand, but so let me get a similar sort of render with the same app over on the HP. All right, back on the HP. Let's do that render. As you can see, a little bit faster than the NeXT hardware. So let me try to get a similar piece. I believe we were zooming in right into here. Something like that. All right. So this also, you can see, renders quite a bit quicker. And if you zoom in here, you do not see dithering, but what you might see are some artifact blocks, not unlike JPEG blocks, because it is a lossy conversion from the 8-bit color information coming out of the frame buffer to the conversion that puts it into 24-bit pseudocolor. There you can see pretty clearly some of the blocks right there, but on the whole, I think for photographs and for images like this, you are having a better visual experience with this pretty nifty HP color recovery tech. And as I recall, the HP UX itself does not take advantage of the color recovery hardware on HP's own machines. I believe NeXTSTEP was the only operating system that actually utilized that. And that's probably the most interesting aspect of this machine and NeXTSTEP on this machine, in my opinion.